Chris Woods, and we're here at the 2024 Home Show. And we have a setup here, and we kind of want to go over some of this information. And here we have Joel. How you doing today, Joel?
Hey, I'm doing good, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing
Good,
good.
good, good.
Good. So what do you have here for us today?
So what we have on display here today is we have right here, check this out. We have the MVP Healthy Home IAQ protocol. We have this on display. We're the only ones in here with a whole house indoor air quality system. And we're starting off, asking people, have they ever heard of sick home? You get viruses inside of a house and they kind of can't get out. Well, a sick home is defined as a dwelling where indoor air quality, due to factors like inadequate ventilation, high levels of pollutants, and improper moisture management, negatively impact the health and well-being of its occupants. And the EPA even released this statement right here. It says that your indoor air quality can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. Now that's important. Why? Because as you'll see on this card over here, that we spend at least 90% of our time indoors. You believe that? I mean,
yeah, I believe that.
I believe that. I mean, They're always telling us to get outside, that the outdoor air is cleaner air. But, we're spending a lot more time indoors than we are outdoors. So we have to take care of the environment that we're spending the most time in.
Correct.
And there's one interesting little factoid that I can share with you is about how many times we actually breathe. We don't do anything as much as we breathe. We breathe up to 20,000 times a day. 20,000 times.
That's a lot of times.
That's a whole lot of breath.
Lot of time.
And you just imagine if every breath was a little bit easier. If every breath just saved a little bit more energy, over 20,000 reps, that's a lot of energy saved. So we're really talking about your health and safety here. Talking about the health and being a better person. So, this kind of hits home with me, this part at the top here, where it talks about asthma. Now, before, I never knew that asthma was something that can actually be developed. But once I read inside this publication here that young children and infants can actually develop asthma, and that was something that I suffered with as a child, was asthma, and I was sidelined and couldn't really get into sports like I wanted to. My dad always had me on the side. I started wheezing, chest get big. I got an inhaler in my bag. So asthma is something that a lot of people are affected by. And if there's something that we can talk about or give information on, or a homeowner can help their kid in an indoor air quality bad situation, and their kid doesn't have to go through some of the things that I went through, I think that they would like to do that. And that's kind of why we have this on display and why we're bringing awareness to this.
That's good information.
Yeah, that is good information. So that's what we're really bringing out today, is with this indoor air quality awareness. And this is the new device that we have. It's called the Air Things. So you can fit the size of your palm right here. It's not too big. And it can read all of these different things inside of your house. Radon, PM 2.5. Now here we have the number 1 and the number 2 leading causes of lung cancer. Radon is the number 2 leading cause of lung cancer. PM 2.5 is the leading cause of lung cancer. You know what PM 2.5 is, Chris?
Yeah, but for the people that don't know, what does PM stand for?
Yeah, so PM is particulate matter. So think about the stuff you see in when the lights are on, the sun's kind of gleaming, you see the dust particles. That's the particle, the particulate matter that is in the air. The 2.5 is the size of it. And the bottom of this chart, you see PM1. Now that's just a smaller particle. And the reason why the size 2.5 and the 1 is so important is because those particles can actually go through your lungs and get into your blood. So you think about cigarette smoke, vaping, and things like that. That's what that PM 2.5 is so important, to be able to measure that, to make sure the air you're breathing is clean and it's filtered. So this has all these different measurements that you can see on your phone, and all you have to do is put this device in your home. And that's really the start of the indoor air quality system, is you have to be able to measure, and then we can prescribe, what kind of issue you have going on. And that's really the rest of this presentation is about prescriptive measures that we can take to fix your indoor air quality. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So what I want to do is just run through our prescriptive measures. It's really easy to memorize and understand. It's called the MVP process. So we have the MVP method or process or framework, whatever you want to call it. The M stands for moisture management. So when it comes to moisture, if you're trying to manage moisture, if you have an air things and it's like, hey, your moisture is a problem, what can you do? Well, we have two devices here that can take care of moisture management. On my right, we have the dehumidifier. And on my left right here, we have a steam humidifier. These devices, they can work independently, but when you put them in tandem working together, what you create is a streamline of humidity. So Chris, what are some things that people may feel like or witness inside their home where they may need a humidifier?
So one of the things we have a lot of people that concerns are needing a humidifier is they have this sense of feeling that their HVAC isn't performing correctly when the humidity is just really the issue inside the home. They're inside the home and they're feeling like they have to jack the heat up to 75, 76 degrees in order to feel comfortable inside their home, when in actuality, they just have very low humidity inside their homes. The HVAC system, it can dry out the air inside the home. So what we want to do is introduce moisture inside the home to actually make it a lot more comfortable inside the home.
Cool, cool, cool. Thanks for explaining that to our people there. And the opposite or the inverse is for our dehumidifiers. In the summertime, especially here in Raleigh, North Carolina, we have those humid days where that humidity comes into your house also. So you get this dehumidifier in there, it's drying the air out. It's at a nice 40% humidity. In the summertime, I mean, your air is going to feel wonderful. And that's what this dehumidifier can do for you right there. So that's the M in our process there. All right, so we're going to move on to the V in our method here, ventilation. So with these two products right here, we can talk about ventilation. Now, this product is a ventilating dehu, and this can go ahead and attach to the dehumidifier, and it can bring in ventilated air through this component and then condition that air, filter that air so that you can get some ventilation going on. We use this method if we can't get the gold method installed in your home. The ERV is the gold method. However, we do have 4 ducts that this thing has to connect to. We have to, route those ducts to where 2 of them go outside and 2 of them inside. So we have to kind of figure out where can we place this at to give the best situation for your home. So we have found a lot of success with installing these. So they're really good. The ERV is a really good product for ventilation. It's the best product for ventilation. Chris could probably tell you about some of the things you may notice why you may need a ventilator, ERV.
Yeah, Joe. So one of the things this ERV can do is it can regulate the carbon dioxide, which comes from basically breathing inside your home, which can make the home feel stuffy. It can also get rid of stale air and VOCs inside the air. And if you could, Joe, could you just tell us a little bit more about VOCs?
Yeah, so the VOCs. So, VOCs, volatile organic compounds. We don't really want those things in our home. Think about like hairsprays and paints, and those VOCs are really in everything, so you really can't avoid them. And then there's something that I learned from our publication, that the VOCs are actually, they come out at different times. This is a process called off-gassing. So during certain temperatures, during certain times of the year, different products in your house, the table, for instance, you may look at a table and be like, hey, that table lost its finish. But what really happened was that finish on the table came into the air. So it off-gassed and it came apart and the table finish is gone. So that stuff happens a lot. You can think about it, or you may see it also when you order stuff. You may order something from like Amazon or from overseas, and you open it up and it has a smell that's really strong. What you're experiencing at that time is a concentrated amount of VOCs that have off-gas from whatever the product that was, and it's coming into that and you're smelling it. So those are different types of chemicals that's in the air. And like I said, we really can't control. I mean, we're not going to stop ordering stuff. We're not going to stop bringing stuff into our home. So what are we going to do? Well, we need something that can control the air that we breathe. We need something that can, cleanse that air, ventilate that air out, bring clean air in, and send that bad air outside. Outside has processes to cleanse that air, to refine that air, and then bring it back into the house. So we can go ahead and dump that back outside. So really, that's in a nutshell, VOCs and how this can manage those VOCs. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, cool, man, cool. So that's the V process in our method here. The next step would be the particulate matter. So particulate matter, PM, and it's usually followed by a couple of numbers. So we got PM 2.5 and PM 10. What we have on display here at the home show, you want to show us that screen right there. We have PM 2.5, is that right there at the top? And then we have PM 10. Now, 2.5 just means that it's 2.5 microns in size. So it's very, very small. And to give you a reference of just how small this is, PM 2.5, you can fit 40 particles of PM 2.5 on a strand of hair. 40 particles on a strand of hair. So that's how small it is. So we're measuring PM 2.5 here. What does it say, Chris? What's the PM 2.5?
14.
So 14. So we're measuring 14 here in the Coliseum. On our scale at the bottom, I don't know if you can get a picture of that. 14 means we're still in the green. I think over 35, we start getting into the next level of air quality. But so we're pretty good here, no problems. But we do have the PM10, and the relationship between these brings us to our P method here in purification, our chart, the Remy Halo product. And what this product does is it ionizes the air so that the PM 2.5 molecules start attracting to each other. So they start becoming bigger. And why is that important? Well, the bigger they become, we don't have to worry about them getting into our lungs and going to our bloodstream, because at 2.5 size, that's the size that can pass through into the blood. When they become bigger, not only do we're not really able to pass into the blood, but the filtration, show them right here. Show them this 3-in-1 filter cabinet we have. This filtration cabinet is going to be able to collect more of that particulate matter. The bigger the particulate matter, the more your filter, the more effective your filter is. So by adding these two products together, what you create is a really good dust trap. You create the best dust trap inside of your whole house. So that's what this does. And it can be with your regular filters. This filter is a 3-in-1, it's a specialty filter. Chris, you actually have this filter installed in your house, right?
Yeah, I do.
So how do you like that?
I notice a big difference inside my air quality inside the house. Basically, it just feels a lot cleaner inside the house, just because I didn't have a media filter on my house at first. I had like the basic 1-inch filters, which they did their job, but they just don't collect as much dust, get rid of odors as much as this did. I just noticed a big difference in air quality inside the home.
And that's what really got me. When you told me about the odor removal, and then we had the portable one of this for testing, it does remove odors like really, really good. So I went and I had to get one, and we had to add it to our system, because this is the best media filter cabinet that you can have on the market. And that's why we added it to this perfect healthy home solution here. So these are the 3 processes. With these 3 processes, we can fix anybody's indoor air quality. That is the pretty much the whole kit. Now, what makes this whole operation run? That's where the secret science comes in at. And I'm going to show you, because we have it on display here. But it's because of this very next product that all of this can actually work harmoniously together. Because if I can speak on this for a second, we've been trying to put this thing together for about 3 years. I think I've been working on this project. And it wasn't really these products working together was the most difficult thing, because you have different thermostats, you have different products attached to a different thermostat, you have multi-level houses, you have where do you put your humidifier, where do you put your dehumidifier, what thermostat controls that, what thermostat controls this, are they going to be fighting each other? Can you really create a system that can work harmoniously together and be able to create a whole separate system, like a air quality system that's just focused on air quality? So with this next product, that's what happened, and that's what we did. We'll go ahead and show it to you. So this product is called the Haven, and it's the Automator. So we can see on our card here, we're calling it the Automator, meet the Haven. This is a little card of it. Now what this does is, to the whole symphony of indoor air quality, to the whole symphony, this is the conductor. This is the maestro. This is the one that tells the DU, the humidifier, the media filters, and your ERV how they should operate. They tell them when they come on, when they come off. They say, hey, you don't need to operate right now. We got that under control. It needs to come from a centralized point of contact, and you need to have a centralized point of of entry for the measurements to take place. So remember that one product I told you about in the beginning that says if you don't take anything away from this whole demonstration, to understand that awareness is the first step. So this product communicates with that product, and it creates the full circle. So as the other product is in your home, reading what the air quality is, this product is going to be controlling the indoor air quality system and making it work, the best. So it's a full circle of communication of just about air quality.
I think that's pretty unique that can actually control all of these different functions that can go into your HVAC system.
Oh yeah, and it works like so good. Really, it does work so good. We've had a number of case studies. I mean, Kathy Simon. I mean, we speaking our key. We this is not scripted. We speaking our key. Now, I've been at Kathy Simon's house. We pretty much designed that indoor air quality system. She's like one of our first, I guess you could say, persons that we put this whole system in. And when we first put it in, this is be straight transparent. When we first put it in, it had some hiccups because we didn't have that Haven device installed. So we had the opposing thermal. So that was the problem. We had a big problem because we had a bunch of indoor air quality products that she wanted. She wanted this stuff, but to create the operation of it, that's where the issue came in at. So, but we put that Haven in and it worked perfectly. Kathy Simon, she has some praises for us. She has told her builder about us. I mean, everything works perfect. I have it in my house. Everything works perfect. We have it in several other people's homes. I mean, it works perfectly. So we have, figured out all the kinks. Everything works ideal. It's the perfect indoor air quality solution. We're calling it the MVP Healthy Home IAQ protocol. So sorry you couldn't come check us out, but hope you got a lot from this video. And Chris, you want to chime in, tell us anything else?
Oh, you pretty much covered it all, Joe.
Yep.
And I just like to say one thing about this. Most of these products come with their own separate controller. If you buy them, they got like a thermostat. Like, for instance, this humidifier, you can actually have a thermostat for it on the system that controls it, that tells it whenever it needs to come on. The same way with the dehumidifier. But with that Haven, it prevents them from fighting against each other. So instead of all fighting against each other, like the humidifier coming on at one time and then a dehumidifier trying to dehumidify at the same time, they're being controlled by that Haven and actually being able to work harmoniously, like Joe said, together, so that they actually work the way that they're supposed to do, and keeping everything running smoothly and making you feel a lot more comfortable inside the home.
Yeah. So now I want even other companies, other technicians, I want y'all to know too, because ask your company to put that in. That's a good product, and that's going to be a solution for your indoor air quality systems. I mean, everybody needs it, in my opinion. Everybody needs an indoor air quality system. Everybody needs to manage their own indoor air quality. But what I want to sign off with on this is, Chris, if we can take them down here. If you appreciated this at all and you like the information that was presented here, what we're asking people here at the home show is to go ahead and leave us a Google review. So, I'm gonna ask you the same thing. I'm gonna ask you if you appreciate it, us sharing this information with you. If you wouldn't mind, just leave us a Google review. Tell us what you appreciated about our indoor air quality display. And maybe next year or later this year, I think we're gonna do another home show. Should do another home show. I don't know when it is, but yeah, we're gonna be there with the same thing. Maybe a couple little extra, attractions. But come check us out. Later.
All right. Thank you guys for watching.